gentlemen, and programmers, we're going to do part 4. We're going to use an array to control multiple objects. So actually using the array in the loop to ask all the monsters to stop turning at the edge at once. Alright, so here's what we had so far. We added a method to the monster class so that they fall from the platform. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, so when we hit run, they go back and forth. If I ask this guy individually, hey, I'm going to switch if you have to turn at the edge of the platform, and then I hit run, now he no longer does it, he falls. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to ask all of them to do it, and all at once, and you're going to use the array in the loop to do that. Okay, but we haven't done that yet. But we did add all the monsters to an array, so all the monsters, when we added them to the world, we used a loop, and we also added them to an array that looks a little something like this. Okay, let me prove it to you. So if I right click on the world and I say inspect, and there's my array. If I double click on that and show that, if I double click on that, you can see that I have an array that has, it's 10 in length. It goes from 0 to 9. And why are there arrows? It's because these guys don't actually exist in the boxes. They actually are existing somewhere else, but we can just pretend they're in the boxes and they're also in the world at the same time. So this will refer to this guy, this one will refer to that guy, so on and so forth. All right, so that's what we have so far. All right, so let's keep moving. Okay, so now let's actually use the monster array to do this. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into our character. Actually, I'm not going to open up my good guy. Let's start off with opening up the world, and let's take a look at the code that we're going to write. So I wrote this method inside the world because the world is the one that has all of the monsters and bad guys in an array. So I wrote this method, public void switch if the monster array has to turn at the platform edge. And I said for int I equals 0. We're starting it at 0. How many times are we going to do it? Well, monster array.length, I is less than monster array.length, I plus plus. All right, what does that do? It's going to run through this thing 10 times because we have 10 monsters. Okay, so I want to talk to each individual item in the array. So I'm going to say right here, it says monster array I. Well, the first iteration through, it's 0, so it's talking to this guy. What are we going to do with that guy? Well, we're going to switch if he has to turn at platform edge. Okay, and then it's going to come back up, and it's going to go to 1, and then it's going to ask this guy, hey, now it's your turn, and this time. So we're going to use the array. Here's the array. We're using the loop. Here's the loop. And we're going to go through each time, and we're going to ask each of these guys to switch if he has to turn at the platform edge. Okay, there's the code again. Pretty simple. Okay, now, the question is, we've taught him how to do this. Well, when do we do it? Well, I decided on my game I wanted to have it happen when the good guy touches the key, right? So when my good guy touches the key, they're all going to fall. By the way, let me show you this, what it's going to look like. All right, let's see what it looks like. Okay, so my good guy comes down, and it's going to happen simultaneously, but you can see we talked to all of them at once. They're all going to fall off, and they're going to all come down and get me. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. But the question, I guess, is when does it happen? Well, it's when this guy finds the key. So I could put the code either in this guy or in the key, but since this guy's already looking for the key, since my good guy's already looking for the key, I'm going to do it there. So I'm going to go into the Nacho, and let's find the code that's for pickup key. That's the code I had already. So here's what I added. Hey, I need a box called key. I'm going to look for it. If the key's not null, if I found the key. Okay, so in this case, I said if key is instance of key trigger, and the reason I put that code is because I put the regular key that isn't doing this, right? Because some of the times you want to get a key in a world that doesn't get this. So I made a subclass of key that is special. So if the key is an instance of the key trigger, so if the key is not just a key, it's actually this guy, a key trigger, then what are we going to do? Level 2 equals level 2. I'm getting the level 2 because I need to talk to level 2 because he's the guy who can actually make him do it, right? So I said, hey, level 2, I'm going to put you in a box called level 2, right? And then what are we going to do? Hey, level 2 in the box, what do you want to do? Dot, we're using the dot notation. I want you to switch if the monster array has to turn at the platform edge. And that's it. So I added that code, and that's pretty much how to do it. Okay. I think that might be it. Let's keep looking. No, that's it. So next time we're going to be done. We're going to add a message and be done. We're super close to being done with it.